Hi, welcome to day 5 of the uh, Advent Crystal Journey. And my guest today is dear Mr. Jeffrey from Ripe Color.
Hello. Hello.
And we're going to go look at what is our fifth stone today.
Exciting.
It's so exciting. I mean, can we hardly stand it? Okay. It is Amazonite. And
Beautiful.
it's hard to tell. My camera's not the best on this for color, but it's a beautiful shade of sky blue, is what it looks like. And the deal on Amazonite is we're going to say first to Mother Earth, we are thankful to our Mother, the Earth, for she has given us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk upon her. It gives us great joy as she continues to care for us, as she has from the very beginning of time.
Mhm.
To our Mother, we are sending greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. And Mother Earth has left us these crystals, if I haven't explained this to you before, Jeffrey, as sort of signposts to remind us about our spirit, things about what can help us, and how to work for ourselves. Amazonite is one incredible stone. It's sometimes called Colorado jade because it's basic. Now we're going. This is your science class, everybody. Listen to your science class. Amazonite is a triclinic crystal structure, meaning it belongs into the triclinic crystal system, and specifically, it's a variety of potassium that mixes with feldspar, and that's feldspar is called a microcline. And that's just the science. When they take the rocks apart and get down little crystals, that's what it's about. But on a broader scale, Amazonite is known as gambler's stone, encouraging good luck and fortune. Amazon, Amazonite has a soothing effect on our nervous system. Since the nervous system controls our emotions a great deal, this stone is there to remind us and to give us strength to soothe tension, aggravated situations, and to enhance our ability to love. Now, normally, stone have 2 or 3 properties it's really known for in the spiritual sense of working with people. Not Amazonite. Amazonite, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Amazonite has 7 or 8. So this is going to be a long talk. It leads to emotional bravery. Amazonite is said to represent emotional bravery, harmony, and balance. It can help people overcome loneliness and bring equality to relationships. It also helps us with our own sense of self worth. If you carry a piece of this around when you're feeling, I'm not worthy, it will help you develop a strong sense of self worth by encouraging you to find your own truths.
Mhm.
Amazonite also helps with communication. It enhances communication within and without ourself. It helps people speak their truth and do it with confidence. Amazonite also helps with inner peace. It's said to promote a sense of inner peace by opening and aligning the heart and throat chakras so that we can say what we really mean and we don't get all tense and
Mhm.
think 20 minutes later, oh my God, why didn't I tell the person that? It's also there for protection. It's said to protect us against electromagnetic radiation and geopathic stress. And geopathic stress is later in this series. Tim Walther's going to join me, and he's from Yorkshire, England. He does house healings. He heals the land. He walks around and figures out where things are stressed out. Amazonite is very helpful if you're going through that kind of a process. Amazonite calms your energy. It soothes the mind and the nervous system. It eases anxieties, fear, and worry. It was Zoloft from the ground. Truth. Amazonite is also known as the stone of truth and the stone of courage. The most healing properties in Amazonite are helping us find our own inner peace by being our best selves. Amazonite is associated with Virgo zodiac sign, and it's a birthstone for people born between the end of August and September. It is known as Colorado jade. It's it is actually has many of the geologic characteristics of jade. Serpentine is just jade that didn't get cooked enough.
Mhm.
They're all related, and so and it's just how much heat your and how much volcanic impression it happens to the stone. So that's our stone for the 5th day. And I'll tell you a quick story about Amazonite. I built a grid for my family and it was working for everybody but my daughter. And she came to me and she said, maybe I shouldn't be on everybody else's grid. Maybe I need to be on my own grid. And this is before I used the sacred geometry cards I used to pick images. So we sat down, we talked about what she wanted, and I looked up the meanings of stones. And I built her this beautiful grid. And the whole outer edge of the grid was Amazonite stones. And then the center of the grid were all the stones about her ambitions and where she wanted to go and what she would see happening. She was working in an environment where she'd interviewed for jobs. And then right at the last minute, she wouldn't get the job she just interviewed for. And that had been going on for months. And so we built her grid. She set it up. She blessed it, did all her stuff, got it working. The next day, the job she really, really wanted showed up on the university website. So she applied for it. She said, let's see if this is working. Well, she applied for it. And within 2 weeks, she was in the new job, the one she really wanted. So Amazonite could help her get past the nervous stress of having all those things she was visioning for herself. So with that, I think it's a perfect stone for you, Mr. Jeffrey, because you certainly know how to take it and go do the gambler thing and play all your cards and take the risks.
Do.
Yes.
I like that it really opened with earth.
Yeah.
I like that it really opened with earth because that's how I really get calm. So morning, I go into my heart and I fill my heart with love. And I let that energy run through my body. I kind of command it to all my organs, la la la, all my skin, everything. And then I kind of sit in a bubble of it and I let it expand outside of and and then I radiate that light that's from my heart and I connect to the earth. That's the first thing I do. And I send it down and I use the violet fire. And I send it down, I radiate it down and in gratitude and for grounding. And I send it down and then I see and feel earth receive it. And then I get something back. It's almost like a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
It's like you're at the bottom and then you're at the top and then you're at the bottom and then, but it's not a Ferris wheel that you only go around twice. It's a Ferris wheel that goes on forever. And that's what makes me calm. That's really my go-to because in the middle of the day, sometimes I need a little inner peace.
Right.
And I remember that I'm already plugged in.
You know, it's kind of like the image of the Wheel of Fortune. You know, we're all on the Wheel of Fortune. Where do we put our energy? Do you put it on the outside where it goes up and down in great big swings? Or do you try to get closer to the center? And the person who taught me, who taught me astrology, she always saw the Wheel of Fortune as the most powerful space in the Wheel of Fortune was at the very hub where you're just spinning in the energy and you're not being flipped up and down by it. And to some extent, Amazonite stops us from being flipped around by our own energy.
Yeah, because if you're in your center and you center it down to the earth and then it comes up, you said between here. So this is what's called like the high heart, like the sternum between these two. And that's its own chakra as well. It's its own chakra as well. And it's, you know, kind of like tealish, you know, it's green, blue, blue, green. That's a really good energy to work with. And I like that it's really about telling the truth. But, you know, there's a way to tell the truth in a calm manner or state your own truth. You know, it doesn't have to be like, yeah, I'm right, you're wrong. It's more like, this is my reality and this is stand. You know.
I was in college when they were protesting the war in Vietnam. And my best friend, whose birthday it is when we're recording this, she had a professor. They were having demonstrations all over her campus. her professor said, if you don't come to your final, you're going to fail. I don't care what's happening on the campus. I don't care, when you get to be a professional, you can't stop your life because this thing's happening over there. Although I would argue that point with the man. But anyway, so my friend had to get, she was in pre-med, she had to get to that class. And she was trying to walk around the demonstrators. She couldn't get around them. And there was this person, she ended up having to go to the hospital after her class because she'd been hit on the head with a sign. And the woman was screaming peace in her face while she was hitting her with the sign. That's not the way to express things properly. I was like, God, what a way to go to be beaten to death by someone holding a peace sign.
They have a lot of protests here in Mexico City. So yesterday, a lot of the monuments and a lot of the beautiful buildings were, they barricade them. And, they do it a lot here because there's always a protest. So on one of the fountains on the big avenue, it was all about vegetarianism,
What do they do? Beat you up with
Graffiti,
carrots?
graffiti, for vegetarianism, they really protest for everything here.
Well,
Good to be able to express yourself, and it's important, but sometimes things said really quietly have much more of an impact. Yeah.
So how's your
Loving the Amazonite. I'm really loving it. And it's interesting also because you said the end of August into September, that's my mother's birthday. And also that it's, sort of like a cousin of jade, because there's tons of jade down here. Tons.
You had tons of volcanoes down there. The right kind. There's a real whole science to how volcanic eruptions can change rocks. There's some areas up in Canada where they mine jade, and they also mine a lot of serpentine. And they have a way they can actually hit it and you can hear that it's jade and not serpentine because the crystals have become much more compacted. But any place that has a lot of volcanoes has a good potential if it's got the other minerals to go into making feldspar to set that.
It's not the rainy season is ended and then the pollution kind of sets in, but it's just started, so it's not. And if I go to a certain place on my roof, I can see Popocatépetl. So I looked at it like 10 minutes before. So Popocatépetl is one of the most active volcanoes here in Mexico. It's really close to Puebla, and it's always smoking. It's like a constant. And I went and looked at it a little while earlier because I'm surrounded by it. And I've always been fascinated with volcanoes too, even as a little kid.
They're magnificent power, and it's really where we can't control it. The only thing you can do to control being affected by that is to not live by them. And that's a little tough when the city's been built up over centuries around it.
Yeah. I don't live that close. I mean, it's close, but it's not that close.
No, I don't think it's no, but you'll know it if it blows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matter of fact, as I understand it, I might know it if it blows. I'm in North Central Texas. So
well, I'll wear my Amazonite and I'll talk to the volcano in a quiet, calm manner, in a soothing voice. And then it'll say, okay, I'll come
if the
later.
volcano gets you, it will turn your Amazonite into jades. Along with Jeffrey.
I could think of better ways to acquire jade.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really want to thank everyone who bothered to stop by today. It's not a bother. It's a pleasure. It's a chance to break away and see the growth as we move into a new year from a different perspective. And I really appreciate. Oh, I didn't wear my red cape today because it's kind of bulky. And when I sit in this chair, I now know why no one would ever have invented an office chair while they still wore capes. Because that end gets dragged under the wheels and you're sitting here and you're going, ah! And So I think I love the look, but I just can't handle the stress. I think like I'm tripping my body out. So that was my lesson in the Advent
And
crystals.
I'm wearing, pink, which is sort of a red.
Mm-hmm. And of course, my computer decides to come up with, can we scan the computer right now? I have no
Yeah.
idea what schedule that program thinks it's on.
Well, it's always asking me for my passcode and I put it in and it's never correct. It's like, you want to upgrade it? Upgrade it. If you don't want to, don't. I don't really
No, and
care.
then I had one that I used for years and it was great and I never forgot it. And it said, you use that too much. We're stopping it. And I was like terrified I'd never get into Google again. So I used a different code for it. But yeah, don't get me into passcodes, automated systems that are going to make your life easier. Although my nice piece of good news is my car passed inspection. Now, if we want to know about an anomaly among all kinds of systematized things, that it passed. It's got a headlight that has a boopy on it, but they let me through. Said as long as it's pointing outward, you're fine.
And I got my glasses prescription, which should come in a while.
Yes.
So I can see all of you.
Yes. Oh yes, like we always anyway. That's enough of this. Enough of we'll gossip about our cars and our eyeglasses and our other
Bless-
things later.
Thank
Everybody
you.
have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.